Hello, hello, hello.
Afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to podcast 96. How you doing, Paddy?
I'm not too bad, mate. How about you?
I'm all right. I'm not too bad. Not too bad at all. Right. We've got a couple of announcements for everybody. We do want to keep podcast 96 going forever, hopefully, for as long as we can. So we will be having one podcast a week because we've got so many people who want to come on. If we keep it going for as long as we can, then we'll hopefully have a guest every week. But Tuesday, we're going to be doing something new. Do you want to tell them what we're doing on a Tuesday night, Paddy?
Yes, so we're going to give it a go this coming Tuesday. Not sure of the date. Is that the 19th?
19th it will be, yeah.
19th, we are going to do podcast 96 after dark. So similar to what we do now, but it's going to be around about 9 o'clock. And we're going to talk about anything and everything. So there may be some bad language, there may not be. Obviously, we're going to try our best not to go too rude. But yeah, there it is there.
Yeah, so it will be...
just to say, it's not a strip show.
Definitely not. It will be after the watershed, so stories might be a little bit darker, but also it's an opportunity for everybody else that don't feel like they want to come on the podcast and feel like they've got a massive story to tell. We're going to be, it's sort of like an open mic night, so there's going to be me, Paddy, and our new host that will be revealed at the end of this podcast today. We'll all be chatting, and if people want to join us, we will be inviting them in. We'll be sending them the link, and they can join in for 10, 15 minutes, talk about whatever. You know, a couple of bevies, it'll be a laugh.
Absolutely.
And of course, Thursday, we are sticking to our game show as well. Gary Chester.
No, it's not Gary.
No. And don't forget, we'll also be doing some review shows coming up very soon as well. Just on another note, from podcast 96, from all of us, one of our former guests, Jess Krellin, congratulations to her on a very successful surgery. For those that don't know her, for those that do, she underwent a big operation to have a bit of her lung taken away, and it all went really, really well. So we're all happy, and from all of us, speedy recovery to Jess. She's fantastic, and best wishes to you and your family. We've got loads of messages coming through.
I just saw Kizzy Churchwood said hi guys and hello to Ricky, who's coming on in a second. Sarah Tustin says hey everyone. Hiya. If you're here, let us know, comment in. You can join in, ask any questions as well by dropping a comment on the old Tippity Tap. And don't forget to like and share. And also we are on YouTube as well, so subscribe to that after the live. But Jordan, who have we got on today, love?
Well, this person is a very good friend of mine. I met him in my very first season back in 2014 down at Harling Sands. He's a lovely, lovely gentleman. He spent many years entertaining thousands of people through the years, but now he's part of the new Jersey Boys Oh What a Night cabaret. He's fantastic, all the way from Devon. It's the lovely Tricky Ricky.
Dancing a few songs, and we're going to make sure all the guys, in particular the guys sing along. They're going to be something like this.
Oh, here he is, the lovely Ricky Lee
Hello.
White.
Hello.
Hello, mate.
Hello.
How you doing?
I was just watching the video and I thought, oh God, what video they're going to post up? But that's a good one. So, well done for that. How
Always
are
good
you?
to start with a bit of music.
Exactly.
Oh, Sarah
Sarah
Tustin.
Tustin
Hi,
says,
Ricky.
hi, Ricky. Yeah, good, mate. You?
Yeah, very, very well. Very, very well. Enjoying
Good.
the sunshine. Enjoying the sunshine.
We were just talking before we came on. You've had your fire up, so you're all full and ready to go, yeah?
It was that just calmed my nerves, so I'm okay. And I don't normally get nervous, so yeah.
I know.
I'm here. I'm here.
It's all right. We're not that scary. Joking.
It's brilliant to have you on. What have you been doing through this lockdown, Ricky? What sort of kept you going?
Oh, lots of telly, lots of Netflix, lots of eating.
Lots of eating. There we go. We got
Gary Gould.
Gary Gould.
It's Sticky Ricky from Benidorm.
Sticky Ricky.
Tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, the guys in the band, they call me Sticky Ricky. Not I was known as Tricky Ricky at the parks, but they call me Sticky for short because I sweat a lot when I'm on stage. So.
Oh. And
Brilliant.
just where did Tricky Ricky come from? Where did that all start?
Tricky Ricky I was given the name when I started down at Harlan in 2007, and it was a guy, my first manager, Captain Crumble. Oh God, Captain Crumble, and on the advertisement it was just down as Captain Crumble and Ricky. So Captain Crumble said, "We're going to give you a name. We're going to call you Tricky Ricky." So it's stuck ever since. So that's how I got it.
Because the first time I heard it, it sounds like a magician's name.
It is a magician's name, and everybody used to say, "You're going to do some magic then?" I was, well, what do you mean, Tricky Ricky? No, no, not magic tricks. I'm just tricky.
You were saying about Netflix and stuff as well. What we normally ask at the beginning of the podcast is anything you've watched, maybe that you can recommend to the people watching. Maybe they've not heard of it, or something you've been rewatching. Anything?
Oh, on Netflix.
Anything?
Oh. Well, I like RuPaul's Drag Race, so I don't think a lot of people will be into that. I've probably watched the box set of Friends about 50 times.
Yeah.
I do like the old classics. I've been watching Dinner Ladies at the moment.
Yes, that's on there as well, isn't it?
Nice.
Vicar of Dibley's on there as well.
Do you know what? I've never actually watched a full episode of Vicar of Dibley.
Oh, wow.
Only Fools is on there. Only Fools and Horses is on Netflix. I think Gary was fishing just now, but he said, "Who was your favourite entertainment manager?"
Would that be Mr. Tustin by any chance?
It would indeed.
Well, it is Jordan's father-in-law, so I would say Gary Tustin.
Stepdad. It's not my father-in-law. I'm not married to my mum.
No, that's what I meant. Sorry. I thought to myself, did I just say father-in-law? No, stepdad is what I should have said.
Kerry White says hi, Ricky. 3 kisses, lovely.
Yeah, that's me.
Kizzy Churchwood says hello, Ricky, as well. Debbie Passmore says hello, Ricky.
See, just that one little share and everybody's on. See,
and Sarah Tustin as well.
And you obviously spent so many years at Harlan. You become so popular down there. You just made so many friends, and everybody still talks to you to this day. But they just loved you there. What was it about Harlan that I think you clicked with everybody?
Well, I think I just got to know all the guests, and that there's lots of people that would come down every year that are regulars. So you get to know them through time, and obviously when I left and stuff, they were all still in contact. But years ago, they always said to me, "Tricky Ricky, I can't believe that you remember all the kids' names." I said, "Because it's the same kids that's here every year, so how could I not remember?" But I won't remember it now. I don't remember the kids' names now.
Oh, well, bless you.
I'm too old now.
Lee Selway just said hi to me. Hi, Lee. Thanks for watching. Sorry.
And but before you went to Harlan, what did you do before that? Was you at any other parks or? I
did a little while at Butlins in Minehead. That was my first sort of park job. And I started in the sweet shop.
Nice.
I was in the sweet shop, but I used to see in the skyline there was the stage of every morning, all doing like the party dances and stuff like that. So I'd be stood behind the counter joining in, and I seemed to know the shows inside out. So then it was only a short contract, and then I went to work for Haven Holidays.
Brilliant.
And then that was in 2007. Then I came to Harlin, and I was there till 2014, and still went back, to lend a hand and to have a little visit and see people.
So, Keir's question.
Oh, that's a hard one.
Now Kizzy is a very close family friend. I've known him for years, so I knew he was going to ask these kind of questions to try and catch me out. But no, to answer that question of Harlin or Jersey boys, I did Holiday Park for so long. It was time for a change. And I've done musical theatre all my life, and been in many shows, and just to be back on stage and performing in theatres that we do. We perform around the country. We don't just do theatres. We used to do the Warner hotels. We did all the Warner hotels. Every time it was a Frankie Valley weekend, it'd be us that would be booked, and it always every weekend for the weekend. It always sold out. So it's always busy.
Awesome.
Definitely. And sorry, your last season at Harlin was my first, back when I was 17, and you taught me so much. But we touch on this every week. What would you say to the younger generation of entertainers now? And do you think it's changed from when you started?
Oh, definitely. It's definitely changed. It's definitely changed now with when you do private parks, they've always got their own little way of doing things. Whereas if you work for a Butlins or a Haven or a Park Dean, they have their seminars of the do's and don'ts. Whereas for the people that I've worked with over the years down at Harlin, I learned from so many different entertainers that came and worked alongside with me, or was my manager and stuff like that. And you kind of like take a little bit of what they do and make it your own.
Yeah. Do you find that sometimes? Oh, hang on, Gary Gould, ask him about Orkney. Lol.
Oh no. the Orkney Islands. We did we did a tour in Scotland. We perform in Scotland quite a bit, about 3-4 times a year, or maybe 5 times a year. And we had a show over in the Orkney Islands, and we had to catch a ferry. And I don't do boats at the best of times, so you can only imagine it's completely rocking. I was very ill, and the weather wasn't great, so never again. I'd have to fly or I'll swim. At least it gets me off the boat.
Adam Steele, hi Ricky. Good to see you. You have been in quite a long time. What made you join the New Jersey Boys, and how did it all start? Good question, Adam.
Well, we used to book
when it started.
Yeah, we used to book
Jenny Ogue. Hello, Jenny. What are you doing watching this?
Oh, she's an entertainment. She's stage manager at Ferndown at Barrington Theatre.
She is, and I went to school with her.
Yeah, we went. We performed there quite a bit, but I've completely lost my question now. Oh yeah,
Jersey Boys. Where did it all start?
Yes. Well, we used to book them down at Harlin. Quite a bit, and then I kind of knew their show inside out, and obviously it was coming towards the end of the season. I was looking for winter work, and I'd said to them, I said, if you need any understudy or someone to fill in, then I'll be more than happy to do that. And they said, well, funny enough, one of the guys is actually moving back to Scotland. Come and join us over the winter and see if you enjoy it. And it'll be 6 years in October that I've been with them.
Brilliant. I mean, how did you find making their brilliant picture? That I like that. How did you find making the transition from going from being a resident ent to being essentially a visiting act? Was that easy, or was there part of you that sort of missed the parts?
It was, well, the first year was difficult because when it's like coming to that sort of time of the year, it's like March time, you're getting yourself, you're finishing your winter job and you're getting yourself all packed ready for a new season, and that didn't happen because we're busy all the time, and I did miss it. You know, I did miss it, but it was in a way, it was the best choice to make because I was able to travel the country, which I hadn't really done, never really travelled and the places that I've played, and there's been amazing theatres, amazing hotels, the pubs and clubs and stuff like that, and I've got a feel for it. I got a feel for it, and the guys have been excellent. They've been very, very supportive.
Ah, look at that, brilliant.
That's good.
That's
Sarah
our
Nice.
Sarah Tustin, well, my mum, Sarah Tustin, said she was there when you sang with the Jersey Boys at Harlan. I was there as well. I think we might have a little. I think we might have a little video of you singing with the Jersey Boys.
I didn't have a clue what I was doing. But enjoy it. Enjoy it.
I think we've got one. We'll soon find out. Let's have a look. Have we got it, Andy? If not, it's fine. We can find it. No.
The video will play on my laptop, so I'm actually watching the iPad at the same time to see what video this is.
Andy said he couldn't get that one to work. That's fine. But yeah, me and Sarah with Mum were there when you first performed with the Jersey Boys. What was that like? When did they invite? Was it a spur of the moment thing where they said, "Do you want to come and sing with us?" Or?
It was quite funny because every time the guys were performing, I always was in the DJ box, like doing lighting and stuff like that, and they walked through to go onto the stage, and Gary, the boss as I call him, he had grabbed a spare red jacket and a tie, and he said, "You're on in so many songs time, be ready." And I'm like, oh my god. So Shane, who was on the Ents team at the time as well, was sat in front of the DJ box, and I was shouting down to him because our uniform was red at the time. So I thought, I need to get a black shirt. So I said, "Shane, get to your caravan, get me a black shirt." So I'm stood and like ducked down behind the DJ box, like getting changed. And all of a sudden, I felt like a Butlins redcoat again, when I turned up. But then did a few songs with them. They got me to stay on for a little while. I think I did about 3 songs. I think it was Bye Bye Baby and Ain't Our Lead.
And Beggin'. He did Beggin'.
Yeah, Beggin', and then I Kissed Her. We did, but Ain't Our Lead, who's our Frankie Valli. He got me to do the high bit, which that was quite funny to watch. But I can't get as high as Aina. I don't wear tight enough underpants. For him to get that high. So, but yeah, Aina's amazing. He was he was classically trained in Sweden, but he's actually from Iceland, not the shop.
Okay.
He speaks 5 different languages and stuff. He's a phenomenal voice, and it does shock me every time. Thinking how, if we have a 3 or 4 show week, how he's still managing to get those high notes and stuff. But no, he's excellent, absolutely amazing. He does an amazing rendition of Nessun Dorma as well.
Great songs. Gary Lusty says, "Hi Ricky, do you still have the famous fleece from Newquay? And I still remember the day of your tattoo. Hope you're well, my friend."
I actually wore that last night.
Nice to hear from Gary Lusty. Gary Lusty. I've not seen him in a while.
Oh, great friend. Yeah, so we went down to Newquay one day, and everyone was getting all their names printed on the back of a fleece, and he then brought me the fleece, and then the holiday party seemed to have liked it, and then that's how all the kids were getting their t-shirts, Highland Sands t-shirts from the shop, and going down into Padstow and getting them printed of all their different names. So that got crazy, and it was actually a good upsell for the shop as well. to sell the merchandise.
Tough question, potentially. Obviously, you're in Jersey, but so obviously you must love Frankie Valli and songs from him. If you had to pick just one favourite song of Frankie Valli's, what would you say?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me this question.
I can make it an easier question if you want.
Oh no! I can gladly answer. I mean, is it a song that I sing as a solo or in general? In general,
whether you like singing it or whether you just like normally listening to it like off an album, anything.
It has to be, and it is my favourite one. in the show is Who Loves You.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's just such a great song. And you know, every time we perform any of the songs, you get yourself right into it and like get quite enthusiastic.
Because I remember I worked in a private park in Bognor, and one of them was ill, so couldn't make it. So there was just the three of them, and like they saw me singing along, and I was on the dance floor just mucking about. And they're like, Paddy, come on up, and we giving it all that thing, and I had a wicked time just for one song.
What Like a Man? That one?
No, it was Big Girls.
Big Girls Don't Cry.
Big Girls Don't Cry. Yeah, brilliant tune.
Yeah, they're all great songs. I mean, I've seen the Jersey Boy musical.
Oh, it's great.
I've seen it about 17 times. And you know, considering that you sing the songs for a living now as well, stuff, you already feel that you're part of that because we are a musical tribute to them as well. So it's great to be able to, if you can't be on the stage with the musical, you're doing it yourself.
Gary Tustin says, where is the best place you have performed?
Oh God. That's it. I love Scotland. I absolutely love Scotland. The people up there, you know, the audiences up there are they're so amazing, absolutely amazing. But we did a theatre in Wales. I forgot what it's called now, but it was a sold out show, and it was a massive theatre, and they're all up in their seats dancing and stuff like that, and you actually felt like it was in your own, like you felt like you're performing at the O2. That's how it made us feel. We were absolutely buzzing at the end of that show. I can't remember the name of the theatre now. I know it's somewhere in Wales. Port Talbot, Gary. Thank you. Port Talbot. It was massive, and we sold it out, and you know, we didn't even send a poster, and it sold out. Wow. So.
I mean, people love Frankie Valli, and Frankie Valli, for people that know me, Frankie Valli is my favourite singer. But when you look back to that sort of era, and you've got the Frank Sinatra, and do you think Frankie Valli doesn't get as much credit as he probably should?
Oh, he has. He's had the credit for as long as he's been performing. I feel he doesn't perform anymore. He's now given it up. And, I mean, I think Frankie Valli now, he's got to be, I think he's 84, 85 now.
Crikey.
And the song Sherry, that one of their first hit, that is 65 years old.
Wow.
That's how old that song is. And what's amazing about the songs of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, and when you perform, you've got people that the tender age of like 10 years old singing to all these songs. So it's amazing music. I mean, I'm not really into today's music. I was brought up with the 50s, 60s Motown and stuff like that, and I prefer that music, not the music of today. But you just know that all these songs, especially now that the musical's out, there's a film, that those songs will go on for generations, and they'll always be remembered.
Definitely.
You say music of today. Obviously, people like Ed Sheeran, Lewis Capaldi. You must like that sort of thing, where they've written it. It's not just plastic pop or whatever.
I do enjoy some of the music, but I think the music now is very, very samey.
Do you think we're running out of music?
No.
Oh, we definitely are.
Do you not? Okay. Paddy says no. Paddy says yes. Ricky says no.
There's certain ones, like there's a song by Train, 50 Ways to something. It's called something like that, and it sounds exactly the same as Phantom of the Opera. It's exactly the same. If you ever hear it, it's mental. Gary Lusty, do you think that you would return to Harlan, or have you ambitions to enter production? Oh, it's gone.
I did read that question.
There you go.
There it is. Enter production. Harlan will always have a big place in my heart, because it was that place that how I grew as an entertainer. And it was great that I actually, like with Jordan, tried to help him along the way, and stuff. And it was nice to actually pass on what I'd learned,
Sure.
and and your disciplines, and how you would do this, how you would do that. I absolutely love doing what I'm doing now, and God forbid if the band was to ever finish, which I don't think it would end anytime soon.
Sure.
I would consider going back, but then doing what I do now, and for what the places that I've played, and how I'm well travelled now.
Yeah.
For me, I feel it would be like going back rather than moving forwards after being with the guys now for nearly 6 years. I always said to them, if ever they need me, if I'm free, I'll be there. But no, I only if they needed me, I would go back to Harlem. But I do too much traveling and stuff now, and I love it. Traveling's a nightmare, hundreds of miles, but when you've set up the equipment and you're in the theatre, and you're performing for the show, that's the prize.
Yeah.
That's the treat you get.
Andy, our technician's on there, mate.
Yes, hello. I normally stay behind the camera, but I just wanted to quickly jump on. While we're on the subject of Harlin Sands, what behind the scenes, I've just very quickly arranged a nice little surprise.
Ooh.
Not only for Ricky, but for Jordan as well.
Oh, that's nice. Come on.
It's only a quick 5-minute thing, because
that's fine.
This surprise can't last that long. But I'm just going to drop a little surprise in for Ricky and Jordan.
Please do. This will be fun. I wonder what this is.
Oh my God!
Hello, mate.
Hello, everybody.
This is a gentleman called Shane. Hello, mate. Who are you?
Fatty's like, I don't know who you are. So,
2014.
He's a lovely man. 2014. Me, Shane, Ricky, my mum, my stepdad Gary, and Sam. We all worked together at Harlin. How you doing, Shane?
Oh, brilliant.
Getting fat.
You're getting fat.
Aren't we all, love?
Getting fat.
Well, this is a nice surprise, Shane.
I know. How are you, Mr. Ricky Lee?
Long time no see, my darling.
I know.
It's like a reunion. Shane, we'd love to definitely have you on, on one of the podcasts. Maybe we could do a little reunion.
No, you'd have to get Geordie involved, though.
I don't know if you've been watching, Shane. Obviously, Harlin Sands has cropped up as a talking point. Do you have any fond memories from Harlin Sands? Any stories you can share with us?
Drinking, walking to the beach after drinking lots of reef.
Reef? Who?
Reef?
And then ending up at a pub. That's how it normally ends on nights out in Newquay.
I never drank.
Never.
Yeah. You were completely sober.
All the time.
Well, I had to work with you, Shane, so I had to drink to get myself through the day. I'm only joking. Pleasure.
No, Harlem was fun. It changed my life. So
definitely, I think Harlin's one of them where. We got a comment from Sarah.
OMG, hi Shane, says Sarah. Hey,
we just need
Hi, Cocoa Pop.
We just need what was her name? Who was the manager? Sam Henderson. Sam on here now, and we'd have a whole lot. Gary
Sammy Henderson.
Gary and my mum. We'd have a whole reunion. Just before you go, Shane, I'd like you to watch this video with us. Ricky, you made this dance very, very famous at Harlin.
I think I know what's coming.
I know what's coming.
How does it go, Ricky?
You love performing it. You love performing it, and everybody loved joining in with it. So let's have a little look.
Stretch. Here we go then. Big stretch.
Oh, it's gone.
Is that it?
Stretch. Here we go then. Big stretch. mince. You may laugh, Gremlins, but it's a career for me. Together. And mince. Woo! True treasure. Together. Catwalk the Vogue. Pose. Pose. Skipping. The Ashes.
We're done.
Oh,
There we go. It's finished.
Well, that brings
very
back some
nice.
memories.
See, we
just
we've talked-
watching that and stuff, and I think to myself, every night when we had to do these party dances and we never put it in, everyone would always shout, "Old campfire!" It's like, okay.
We've talked off air.
That, old campfire and pineapple pizza. Everybody loved pineapple pizza.
Oh, they did.
We've talked off air, and you said that's not your favourite party dance, Rick. It's my personal favourite. What is your personal favourite party dance, if you had one?
Oh, Old Campfire is my favourite, but
I thought you hated it.
Well, if you've done it for as long as I did, every day for how many months of a season, it was every night. Apart from my day, even on my day off, I'm still stood there dancing to it.
It was very contagious, that dance.
And I think at one point I actually had it as a ringtone.
Oh,
and I thought, no, that's going way too far now. That's going way too far now. No, another favourite party dance is it's got to be the Purple People Eater.
Classic.
And I also made a party dance up of the Witch Doctor.
Oh yeah,
the chicken version, was it?
No, the cartoons version.
Oh yeah, I remember it. Brilliant happy memories from Harlin. Shane, it's absolutely fantastic to hear from you, mate. We'd love to have you on very soon. You've frozen, I don't know why, but
checky blah blah.
It's lovely to have you on. Can anyone else see Shane?
I can see Shane, yeah.
Oh, he's frozen on my screen. It's lovely to have you on, mate, and
nice to meet you, buddy.
Get in touch and we'll have you on very soon.
No problem. Speak to you later on.
Speak to you soon, Shane.
Bye.
Stay safe.
Bye. Bless him.
Well, that was a nice surprise.
He's a lovely lad.
Which again is a good thing, actually, to go off subject to plug for Tuesday when we go After Dark. That's the kind of thing. So if anyone watching, if you want to come on and be part of After Dark, then like and share this page. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And just like that, if you want to come on, let us know when we're live and we'll send you the link and you can come on just like Shane did just there. Shameless plug.
Definitely. A question we have every week for people that have done entertainment for years and years and years. We said it's changed. Do you think trying to keep kids' attention on stage for the amount of time that you did, Ricky, you were very, very good at it, to keep everybody engaged with all the dances and the games. Is there a skill to that? How did you always manage to keep everybody engaged with what you were doing?
Bribery.
Have a sweet. Yeah.
We used to always before it all went health and safety. It was always lollipops and curly whirlies that we used to give away to like the best smiler sat down on the dance with the best smiler, and you get down to their level. You like sit down in front of the stage and you ask them what they've been up to, who's been down to the beach, who's been into Padstow, or who's done something interesting of their day, and then you go straight into what you have planned, and they seem to stick around because they know that they're going to win. Even if there is a lollipop or a curly whirly, and a slush puppy, a free slush puppy was like gold dust to them. But I always, with the curly whirlies, I always used to smash them before giving them to the kids. Who wants the broken curly whirly? And they'd still say me. And I used to crush it, put it on the floor. I used to stamp on it. Who still wants it?
Definitely. But even without the sweets, when you come on stage, I would ask if you've got any advice for the younger generation of entertainers. When you come on stage, you had that energy and you had that stage presence where you just had the kids like that, and you kept them there. You kept them there for an hour and a half, however long you needed to. But some entertainers now, certainly with the big companies, there's big LED screens, and sometimes they struggle to keep the kids engaged because we do our crazy crew for, what is it, an hour and a half, Paddy?
About that, yeah.
About an hour and a half, which is a very hard thing to do to keep kids engaged for that long.
Well, we used to do the party dance off on a Saturday. We had to do an hour of non-stop party dances on a Saturday night.
I remember that. Yeah.
And in the height of the summer, when we used to put our day uniform t-shirts on, the sweat was just it was awful. And I used to absolutely boil, especially when you did a character, if you was doing character work as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
And how to convince kids that they are real. But they are real.
They are real. They're all real. They are definitely all real.
Walking them around.
But I know that Jordan's favourite character was Billy Bucket.
I love Billy. Me and Billy were like that, best mates.
Billy Bucket and Susie Spade is probably the worst characters to work.
I mean, some of them that I've met
say to Susie Spade, clap your hand, and said she can never clap her hand.
She was all right. She did her best.
You're constantly trying to...
A little diva.
You're constantly trying to... I mean, you've got the character... I mean, Cyril is the worst of this. He just runs off and does his own thing. So, come back! Honestly, walking around is one of the hardest things to do.
I was quite naughty in characters.
Why? What were they? Yeah.
Billy Bucket was very naughty.
Oh.
And would end up running out of the venue and going down the slide, going down the slide or on the roundabout, or trying to get on a fairground ride on the park of an evening. And all the kids, dance for the kids, just all used to run out and follow him.
Oh, good old Billy Bucket. Just moving on from our good old friends Billy and Susie and Ollie back at Harlin. When you did the entertainment for the adults as well, you always had the adults. You loved Rock the Room. Rock the Room was
great game.
one of your things, and I took that with me to all the parks I've been to. Really,
it was actually it was your stepdad, not father-in-law, who started up the Rock. I mean, I've seen the Rock the Room before at Haven and stuff, but when Gary,
it's a staple for most parks, I think.
Yeah. For some reason, it was always we always did Rock the Room on the talent show nights when we did Harlan's Got Talent, and then it was our busiest night of the week, and especially with Rock the Room because everyone just got involved. But all like the different bits and bobs, the bits and bobs that Gary had introduced into Rock the Room, you're going to take it over. You kind of want to add your own stamp on stuff.
I mean, it's
the extra tasks and different bits of competition within the game show itself.
It is a music quiz, like just done crazily. But it's really good when you got something like that where you can not just make it a boring old "who's this?" write it down, blah blah. It's getting people involved. That's why I think it's popular. Gary said, "How did you get out of doing the fun fair?"
How did I get out of doing fun fair? I always
He asked the
managed
question,
to.
not me.
I did do the fun fair. I didn't do the rota. He did.
Good answer.
But no, the fairground rides were challenging, Jordan, weren't they?
Definitely was. Definitely, especially
it was
at
like
8
looking
o'clock
back
in the
in the
morning.
1920s.
8 o'clock in the morning on the paratrooper. Yeah.
Or the little all the train, Percy Puffer.
Percy Puffer that went round and round and round and round.
9 o'clock every morning. If you didn't have to do kids club in that morning, all you heard was the shoot and the kids screaming, and you just want to think, oh, you're gonna have a nice lie-in this morning. I'm not into the afternoon, but that's all you hear.
And any advice for people that are at Harlin? If you're on Percy Puffer in the morning, don't drink the night before. Just don't do it on a hangover. We had a comment from Leah Curley there. What did Leah say? I missed it.
Oh, Loopy Leah.
No, because my mum did the fun fair for a while. Crying emoji.
Yeah, she that Sarah, her mum always lend a hand when we were short staffed and things. We always had quite a few of the seasonal tour owners or the static owners that would help do something like that. You know, especially there's been times when I did a summer season on my own. But I had the holiday the caravan owners kids that used to come up and do the party dances for me or with me, and then we had some of the adults that would help and do the fairground rides. You know, but so everyone, it was just one of those things because it's a family run park. It is a family kind of, everyone chipped in and helped if needed, which always gave me a break.
To go back to a point you said earlier, because we talked about this with I think it was Gary, we talked to him about health and safety. Do you think it's gone too far these days?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean for some things that have now been introduced with health and safety, some of the things that you always did and now you can't do it. It's the silly things that you miss.
Yeah.
You think, oh no, we can't do that now because it's health and safety.
I mean, like I said to Gary, things like COSH, which if people don't know, control of substances hazardous to health, that is dealing with chemicals. Absolutely. Yeah. Because if you get that wrong, wow, you could be in trouble. But things like I was saying, there was one place I was working at, I think it was in Wales, the health and safety, you got two chairs, they're stacked on top of each other. Well, you can't sit on that. Why not? You could fall off. I could fall off one chair, love. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's stupid things like that. But I mean, give us a for instance of stuff you could do back in the day that you can't no more.
Oh. Well, we couldn't give away lollipops anymore.
Why? In
case the sweet came off the stick and a child could choke. Yeah. So when it was just, you know, even it's just a tub of lollies got you through at least 3 days and the kids loved it. But then when you had to think of other things that, you know, make sure they get something. Yeah. I think it went to little bags of Haribo's in the end.
That's what I use because they're sealed. So it's like in Panto.
Sealed, yeah.
When I went to Panto as a kid, they used to throw sweets out and stuff. But now because you've got allergies and gluten and like we can still do it if it's sealed. Then the parents I did. Like, oh no.
I was in Panto a few years ago.
You weren't.
Oh yes, I was. Was I in it? No, I actually went to watch a different theatre company do a panto. It was Jack and the Beanstalk. Nice. And the dame was throwing Brussels sprouts in the audience. So as you can imagine, when they're not cooked, they're solid. And that the night the dame threw the sprouts and it whacked the kid in the eye, and it was a nice shiner by the interval. You know, you just can't do that, and you just can't do it. Yeah. You know, and it is a nightmare. It's like some things you can say and do, and
it's not just health and safety, is it? There's things that are so PC now, but even things you can't say that you used to be able to say.
Well, it's also safeguarding as well. With things like that, with photos done and stuff.
Yeah, things like that with Panto. I mean, maybe a better alternative is because my local one, the Amdram Society, we do it over 3 nights. If you've got the whole cast to sign a copy of the poster, give that away. That's surely a better prize because it's like a memento.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. Sorry, Jordan, I interrupted you. What were you saying?
No, I just said some things are just so PC now that it's not even just health and safety. There's some things you just can't say.
2 lovely ladies, we've got to say that now.
Yeah, but you used to be able to say. But do you feel you can get away with a lot more being on a private park than you would maybe in a company?
When I always think when you do a private park and they're not in with the times of the commercial sites, like your Butlins and Havens, in, you know, when you have your seminars of do's and don'ts in how you would do a game show, how you would do this, that, and the other. When the owners of especially Harlem, where they didn't really know some of the games we used to do and stuff like that. I forgot what I was going to say now. Shut up. I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, don't worry about it. But no, there's just so many things that have changed, and I think with private parks you can get away with things a lot more. But maybe
that's what we were talking about. Yeah, that's it. When they have no clue. Sorry, when they have no clue of what, like when you want to introduce something new and stuff, they used to leave you to your own devices. But if it worked and he liked it, it stayed in. And if they didn't like it, we just never did it again.
The craziest thing, I was working on the private park in Wales, and they were so stuck in their ways. And the fact of, I was said to the guys who own the place, I was like, okay, is there any chance I could get the access to the Facebook page? The what? Facebook page of the park? Oh, we don't have one. Oh, okay, that's no worries. I'll create one. No, don't worry. No one will look at it. Are you kidding? Facebook's like the biggest thing.
Social media. So for the power of social media now, and for what you can advertise, and you know, it's like with you guys with this podcast. You know, you're going to start getting because it's new for you guys, but I know in time you're going to get more followers. Yeah, and the numbers will start building up.
40 in the last 2 days, maybe, Paddy.
Yeah,
40 more followers.
So with the social media and stuff, if you do your own holiday park Facebook page and you start advertising it, and they're obviously gonna like and share, they're gonna comment, they're gonna they want to upload their photos of the holiday and you know, and stuff.
And it's a good way of advertising, like you know, obviously you've got the boards and everything with the posters on, but say Saturday night you've got the Jersey Boys show, the new Jersey Boys. Put that poster on the Facebook page, advertises it. Is there anything you think maybe social media it's a blessing and a curse at the same time? What would you say are the bad points about social media? Because it's everywhere.
I think it depends. I think it depends on what you put up. You've got to be so careful of what you're advertising. I feel you have what you advertise. Sometimes it's a blessing to have the Facebook, and sometimes it causes ruptions of an argument, or you know, and you've got to be, especially if you put statuses up. I mean, I'm one for putting statuses up because of obviously what I've been through over the past couple of years. I like to keep in contact with friends that are not around. I don't really see, but at least they know that I'm doing okay. Yeah, that kind of thing. But it's one of those. It's one of them that you just don't. It has its goods, it has its bads. I feel.
Yeah, and there's the whole thing with. I mean, most parks, private or big companies, there's a general rule that they say try not to add owners or holiday makers. I mean, I've never had a problem with it. Like there was a guy. Excuse me. Guy from Cloggers last year. Jordan, you probably met him, Harry.
I might have done. I was only there for about a week and a half before we got grounded.
He's one of the owners, and sort of just after I started, our thing was Sunday night. We'd have a game of pool or a couple of games of pool just to chill out once a week, because you know we got on really well. We're really good friends. Has there ever been a time or any stories you've heard of where adding guests or holiday makers social media has gone wrong?
Yes.
Okay, how much can you tell us? Obviously, be careful.
Well, see, the problem that I had when Facebook was like first introduced and stuff like that. Some of the owners, I am very good friends with,
which is
close,
fun.
which is fun. But I never add it when the kids. It's when the kids start sending you friend requests.
Definitely, yeah.
And they and the parents would come up. She said, "Oh, my daughter sent you a friend request." I said, "Well, I can't accept it because one, it's a holiday maker. Two, they're underage, so that's what you got to be careful about, especially now with the safeguarding of children and stuff. And I didn't particularly want people just adding and seeing my private life if I was posting about my private life.
Yeah,
but some of the adults used to get really uptight.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's wrong that you can't add. Well, but I say to them, think about it.
Yeah, it is scary for entertainers, and we touched on this the other week.
There is.
You've got to be so careful now.
Yeah, there is the John Fowler holiday parks that they're known as stripies, but stripies. The entertainers would have their own sort of Facebook page for the park, so it'll be like with Jordan would have been Jazzy Jordan Entertainer. And that's
brilliant.
Keeping up to do, and obviously mine would be Tricky Ricky.
I'm going to start calling you that now, Jordan. You do realise this?
Oh, brilliant. We got. Go on, carry on.
But so they do it that way. At least they can. The kids can add it that way, but it's all low key and it's all to do with work. It's nothing to do with private life.
Yes. I'm quite harsh because what you said, it's happened before. I'm like, okay, well, I know Facebook's rules. You've got to be 16 at least to have a page anyway. Yeah. So obviously they're grown up or something's done it. So I've actually reported them to Facebook and had their profile taken down. I'm not trying to be horrible. That's why the rules are in place. Facebook can be a dangerous place, which is one of the subjects I think we're going to talk out on the late night one.
Definitely. We've got loads more questions to ask you, Ricky, but just before we do, just to remind everybody to like and share the page on Facebook at Podcast 96 and also give us a subscribe on YouTube. We've got another, I think, 50 followers in the last day and a half,
which is brilliant.
So we're growing. It's brilliant, and we're expanding, and we're doing more shows and coming up with more ideas for you guys. And we've got lots of brilliant guests, including this gentleman today. Ricky, I was going to ask you, and of course, before I do that, we also do support mental health as well. So check that on the link, Podcast 96. We do support mental health.
With that as well, just to give a shout out to Jack Griffin and Mental Health Matters, the Facebook page. It's absolutely a fantastic page. He is one of the Ents managers, Park Holidays. He knows quite a bit about this and he knows other people who do. So if you're having a tough time at the minute, you can go on that page, get in touch with him. He can put you in touch with the right people. Nice one, Jack.
Definitely. Ricky, I was going to ask you, with entertainers, and you'll know this, we're doing it for so long, whatever they've got going on, whether they're tired, they're stressed, they've got mid-season blues, you've got to go in the evening, whether it's to do a show or just kids' time or to call bingo, and you've got to put that mask on and you've got to be happy. Have you ever?
Isn't tiredness just a permanent state anyway?
Pretty much. Have you ever struggled with that where you've had to go in? And you're so peed off or annoyed and tired, but you've got to carry on being Tricky Ricky. What's that like?
Oh, it's when you it will happen. It will happen. You will have a day that you just like you said, the mid-season blues. You think, oh no, I've got to go and do this again. Oh, I've got to go and do that. And still, if you're in uniform and things, and you're going into work, you've got to put that smile on your face.
You'll never dress without a smile.
Exactly. I could maybe I was being told off for something by a manager, and we've had a row. But I've got a room full of people that they paid good money to come on holiday, and they're in for that. They're in for the evening. They need to be entertained. You've got to keep them going and keep the bar busy.
Absolutely.
And try and fill something when you've got a night that you've got to. If you've only got one act on, which is your later evening cabaret.
Yeah.
But if there's nights that you've got a kids act on first, and then you've got to do the bingo and then your party dances and a game, and then that's easy. But when you've got to try and fill a hole from 6:30 onwards, and try and fill and keep it going for as long as you can before that cabaret, because we used to hate having the lulls when there was nothing happening.
Yeah,
and this is what I feel that it's changed in itself, because I go on holiday to other places, but they've done one game and then going to leave you a little bit of a kids disco.
Yeah, disco
mini disco. Oh,
and then you're there. They're waiting half an hour, and you got the kids. The kids are running riot. You get the bosses coming up to you saying, "What's happening? Why is nothing happening?" Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I couldn't get away with. I couldn't get away with that. Especially at Harlem, I couldn't get away with not keeping things going. If there was a lull, and I got used to that. No lulls. We've got to go. Nowadays, it's dipped, and it.
Yeah.
And I do see it, and I always say to people, look, I'm not the best thing since sliced bread, but when you've done it for so long, and you know what's expected, and will be happening, I end up being picky. I pick, and I thought, oh no, I wouldn't have done that. Why is this? Why is this? What's happening? We're waiting to be entertained, and the entertainers are stood in the DJ box having a yap about their day, or are you having a drink when you finish work tonight? When you finish shift?
The worst thing I've seen, and I'm not going to say what park or who it was, but it was I was doing Panther, and I popped in, and because we were staying on a park, and I saw someone that I knew who was on the team, and it was just like, it was a quiet room, fine, but they actually went to the bar, got themselves a glass of wine, and was just sat there in the box drinking. One, no liquids in the box anyway, and two, are you kidding? That is so bad. Jordan, sorry, just a quick thing. It says I've got less than 10%, so I'm going to have to remove my earphones to put my charger in. Can I just double check you can still hear me if I do?
Yeah, that's fine.
Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Perfect.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, perfect.
Cool. And Ricky, I completely agree with you. Coming from Harlem, I was there for 4 years, and that was just drained into me. And at first, when you've got a 10-minute break and they're saying, "Oh, what's going on?" You're sort of like, "Oh, give me a break." But you can't, like you said, you get used to it, and it just gets it just gets drained into you, and that's something I do now.
It's routine. It's routine. You get into it. You know what's expected. You just do as you're told, and
not only is it better for the guests, it also makes it a very quicker and better quality night for the entertainer. If it's constantly flowing, your night will go so much quicker than if you're just stood around doing nothing. But no, that was definitely something I learned at Harlem very quickly, that things need to flow and you'll have a better night. Everyone will have a better night.
Aaron, Andrew Aitken, I'm like that when I go on holiday. Also, message from earlier, Tony, he's my best mate back here at home. I made it. I was having a little nap. No, you didn't have a nap, Tony. You are a lazy git. That's what it is.
Bless him. Bit of a delicate question, Ricky. Like you said, we spent many years at Harlem, and we loved it. I wouldn't say a bad word against it. I love the owners and the family. It was absolutely brilliant. But like you said earlier, for me, I had to move on to a company to sort of climb that ladder. Did you feel like
you needed that next step, Jordan? Because I always feel when you are a new entertainer, I always think it's best to start from the bottom by working for a private site, learn yourself and how you want to become, how you want to be as an entertainer, what kind of things that you want to do. So it's almost like a training platform. I always feel for private parts before, because then at least then if you are to go for the bigger sites, like you're with Park Holidays, I believe.
Park Holidays UK, yeah.
Yeah, you're with Park Holidays. So they're another big company.
They're brilliant.
So if you went for your interview, you went for your audition, you've got stuff there prepared, and you can go in. And I always feel you might get the job easier because you've got that experience.
Yeah.
When you get some entertainers that has never had a microphone in their hand, never presented, never learned the tech side of stuff. Do you know what I mean? I always feel it's a learning platform for new entertainers. I always feel to go to a private park. If you've got a few, if you can sing, bonus. If you can dance, bonus. You know,
I've always thought like things like tech that can be taught. You know, if you're not necessarily big with computers or whatever, I think 90% of it, if not more, is personality. Unless you've got that personality. And again, like there was a guy, I said this on the previous one, I worked with a guy called Lewis years ago, who before coming to entertainer, he was a loft converter. So, you know, when people get their lofts and they turn them into like bedrooms and whatnot, he was doing that. But he was just naturally funny, and you give him a mic, he'd just talk, and he was hilarious.
Yeah. But you've got to enjoy it as well. But I think you know, people can learn to sing and people can learn to dance. But I think my strong point is hosting. But hosting is actually one of the hardest things to do. To stand on a mic, whether it's for kids or adults, it's one of the hardest things to do.
You don't want to do that, mate. You're breaking.
Stand right on your mic. That's one of the hardest things to do.
So you always were like you always knew what to say on a mic.
Oh, shut up, Andy. Tech can be taught, question mark. I beg to differ. I'm trying to teach you to. You know what, Andy? That's what I say to him.
We'll stick to this side. But just going back, Ricky, me and you were at Harlem. You were there longer than me, but I was there for 4 or 5 years. But we both had an opportunity to move on. You went with the Jersey Boys. I went with Park Holidays. But there, to this day, I'll say, had the best owners I've ever met and come across. And I felt I had so many friends there, whether they worked on the bar or they were owners. I loved it there. And you had the beach on your doorstep, and not necessarily you could climb that ladder, but it was just so fun. But how hard was it to actually leave? Because if I don't leave now for a big company, I'm never going to leave, because I just loved it.
You know, when I joined them through the winter season with the New Jersey Boys, I did my first couple of shows and I loved it. And then as time was getting on, I was loving it even more. But knowing that I had till, I think it was end of January, to let Harlan know if I was coming back or not. But I kind of had it in my head that it was a big step to take, because I was there for so long, and you know, loads of different things happened. I worked with so many different people that had come and gone, you know, and I stuck it out. And you know, like going back to the owners and stuff, they've been so supportive over the years, and the people that I've met and stuff, and you know, I loved it that much to take that next step, because I know it will always be there.
Definitely.
And the memories that you've made, as well, you'll never forget them, because you were that. It was a family friendly park, and it didn't just feel like work. Sometimes it felt, you know, it was family.
I don't know if this is Gary fishing again, but Gary Tustin, who have you worked with that you thought you learnt from?
Well, I learned from loads of different, you know, entertainment managers that had come and gone, and other, like I said, the other people. Like, I learned a lot. I did learn a lot from Gary, Mr. Tustin. That's. I'm not trying to boost his ego even more and make his head swell even more. Yeah, but no, I did learn a lot from Gary, and I was able to take some of like sort of Gary's stuff and turned it into my own, like made things my own.
Sure.
Yeah. And that's how I always felt with all like entertainers. Think, oh, I like that. I said, this one's probably going to leave in a week, but at least I've learned something from someone.
You've got to make it your own. I think everything in entertainment is recycled. Absolutely. Everything's been done. Nothing's original anymore. But you've just got to put your own spin on it. But for me, when I did that first season, I was very fortunate because I had you that had been there for so long. You knew the Harlan way, and you were brilliant at what you did. And I had Gary as well, and you both just taught me so much in that one season. And I wasn't even there that long in 2014. I think maybe 2 years, 2 months before I had to go back to college. But I just learned so much.
See, when Gary was there the first time round, I think he was there for, I think it was it 2 years he was there? I think.
But when season, I think 2010.
But if we 2009.
Oh, I know he was sorry. There.
Yeah. But when me and Gary used to have a mic, we were both talking on the mic. We used to bounce off each other.
Yeah.
And nothing was ever planned.
Nice.
Like, there's a microphone. You're hosting the bingo. You're on callback, but you're going to present this. You're going to do that. But we just seem to bounce. We just bounced off each other.
Yeah, and I don't think you can teach that. It's like with me and Paddy. We knew each other before we started this podcast, and we saw each other at seminar. We've not even known each other a year, but when we started this, we just clicked and we bounced off each other as hosts. And, I know now me and Paddy are really good mates, and but you can't teach that. If you've got it, you'll have that chemistry with someone.
That's it. That's how it was with me and Gary. We got on. We had everyone on your team. You're gonna have your ups and downs. You're gonna have your fallout, but
definitely.
But as soon as you've got that mic in your hands and you're presenting yourself in front of a room full of people, you could have had a massive row backstage, but you can never tell as soon as you got on stage and you're running your night.
Definitely.
Time is getting away from us here, so we've still got announcements to do at the end. So just quickly before we go, Ricky, anybody maybe watching this, or maybe people know someone who wants to get into Ents on Parks, any advice, tips, anything at all?
Obviously, you're going in to do entertainment. You know what's going to be expected of that role. If you've been on a holiday and you've seen how you've got to be, you've got to be confident.
Yep.
Go in with a plan. Plan what answers you're gonna, if you're asked the questions, what answers you're gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Just be prepared, because you just don't know. I mean, for any entertainment job or any job, you just got to go in confident and be enthusiastic about it. Don't be over cheesy. I always say, don't be over cheesy. Don't try too hard, but go in with a plan. Go in with a plan. Be confident, and be enthusiastic, but not cheesy.
Definitely. We got a few minutes left. Ricky, tell us about drag. We've got a couple of pictures as well. Something you're obviously very passionate about. And
yes, this is.
Okay.
This is my alter ego. Before I joined the New Jersey Boys, I already was doing a solo drag show, and I think when Jordan was with us, actually, I hosted Plymouth Pride in 2014.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I did have to change her name though, because I couldn't really advertise.
What is her name now?
It's Donna K. Babb.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Nice one, Ricky.
And it was actually Gary in the band that actually came up with that, and I've stuck to it and I've changed it. That's
that.
Gary's the guy on the left. He's the founder of Jersey Boys, alongside with Einar, who's our Frankie Valli. They met over in Spain, and Einar does was doing a Freddie Mercury tribute,
nice.
And Gary does Elton John.
Nice.
So the Jersey Boys show had just came out, and they were residents. I forgot what it's called. What's it called? Yeah, they were residents at one of the places, and they had asked. They had a week to put together a Jersey Boy tribute. So they had another 2 guys. So they did. I think it was 8 years in Spain, and they've now been back in the UK. For I think it's 10 years. 10 years now that they've been back in the UK. And they're actually Gary's son-in-law.
Oh, okay.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So,
why is it a thing? Maybe you know, maybe you don't know. Why is it?
That's my Tina Turner.
Why is it a thing with a lot of drag queens that their names are puns or funny? Is that just a thing, or is that intentional?
It's well. So you can be, you can be Dame Lucy, or you can be. I've got a few friends. Got Lola Lasagna, Miss.com. Got Trixie Licks.
I've seen Trixie Licks in Gran Canaria.
Yeah,
brilliant.
That's a good friend of mine. Him and his partner bought a pub, a show bar over in Gran Canaria.
Yeah.
And now they're back in Plymouth now.
He used to do quite a bit of the Barbacoa. I don't know if that's still where he lives now.
It's Liam. Liam, who's Trixie, phenomenal.
Lovely Welsh lad.
Yeah, he's hilarious, absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I've got to know quite a few drag queens over the years, and they've always had the most extravagant names.
One of the best names I've ever heard is Lowest Common Denominator. I thought that was brilliant.
Lowest the what? Sorry.
Lowest Common Denominator.
Oh,
that was quite funny.
Just before we go, Ricky, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on and talk to you again.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Me and you are both in Plymouth, so when this is done,
which I didn't know about.
I did tell you. I definitely told you.
You're in the very posh place. It's what we call Robra.
I don't know about that, but we're both in Plymouth, so I really, fingers crossed, we'll see each other soon. It'd be lovely to see you again.
Once this lockdown's over and actually back doing what we love, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of opportunity.
Definitely.
That you can take me out for a drink.
I'll be back here in winter as well. It's been brilliant to have you on, but just to sort of end things, sum up Harling and the Jersey Boys, your journey. What's it meant to you? Oh,
it means the world, because it's something that I always wanted to be a holiday park entertainer. Because I grew up at Haven Holidays, and I always wanted to be a fun Haven Mates, they were called back when I was younger, but they're now known as Fun Stars. I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to work for Butlins. I did it. I worked for Haven, especially the holiday park that I grew up at. Where I worked. It was Perrin Sands at Haven, and then got introduced to Harling, and I was doing what I always wanted to do. And I've always done musical theatre. I've always performed on the stage. So just to keep doing what I've always wanted to do, I feel that I'm what's the word I'm looking for?
You've got an affinity.
I feel successful in myself, that I've reached the goals that I've wanted.
Nice.
But it's like I always said, nothing lasts forever. But I don't see myself leaving the Jersey Boys anytime soon, because they're like I've been with them for nearly 6 years. They are like a family to me, and they've been so supportive, especially for what I've been through over the past 18 months with being diagnosed with leukemia. The guys have been amazing. If I'm having a down day, Gary in the band, if I could have the most awful week, but knowing Friday's coming up, I'm on the road, and he always knows how to make me laugh. He always makes me laugh. But the guys, and Gary's wife Vivs, who's our sound person, just all of them all together, they're amazing. And to leave something that you enjoy and being able to like keep going and performing on the stage, performing in theatres is what I love. You feel like you're accomplishing something that you've wanted and you're still doing it.
Brilliant, good stuff.
So yeah, I'm having an amazing career with it, and holiday parks I'll never forget. Working for holiday parks, I'll never forget what I've learned. I mean, I could write a book, but I always said I'd write a book.
You should call it Tricky Ricky.
Tricky Ricky, the book of an entertainer.
Definitely.
What went wrong? Why did they give me the position of a Jersey boy?
You fully deserve it, mate. It's been a pleasure to have you on.
Nice to meet you, Ricky.
Thank you so much. By all means, stay in the stream, and we'll talk to you after. Me and Paddy are going to welcome on our new guest.
Well, I've got something to tell you. I've got something to say. I'm gonna put this dream in motion. Gonna let nothing stand in my way. We're going against the time get going. I'm gonna put myself in some rhythm. It's a price I'm willing to pay. I'm gonna make you stand and deliver, giving you love in your best way. Whoa. I climb every mountain, I do anything, ooh, and I touch her, and do the things I love to do, ooh, when I hold ya, I gotta get it through to you, oh, 'cause when the going gets tough, the tough can't go, when the going gets rough, hey,
Lovely stuff, lovely gentleman.
Well, why not?
There we go, absolutely fantastic guest there. Ricky Lee White, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a little announcement to leave you with. Like we said, we have got a new host. But before we bring him or her on, does anybody have any guesses? We might have some guesses if anyone's still watching. We had loads of comments, right, by the way.
Is it? Because I know she's left Celebrity Juice now. Is it Holly Willoughby?
No.
Oh.
No, it's not Holly Willoughby.
She didn't get my email then. Okay, good.
We had loads of comments today. I don't know about you, but you know where it says chat at the bottom?
Yeah.
I had like every single comment on my chat. I don't know why.
Okay.
Which is really weird. It says chat down here. There's like nearly 70 comments. But never mind. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are going to welcome our new guest our new host to Podcast 96, joining us every week for our podcast, for our game shows, and for our late night version that will be on Tuesday night. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Podcast 96. Here he is.
Yes! Yes! Come on! Yes! 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 Yeah!
Hello. Hello. Sorry. Hi. Oh yeah, very much. Yeah. So something's not right. Yeah. How you both doing? That was amazing. Really incredible. Like watching and.
Thank you, mate. Do you know what? You made us laugh so much the other day. I think we just needed that. We just needed that energy. I mean, me and Paddy have a blast.
There's 3 of us now. Phil, how do you feel about joining us as a co-host?
Amazing, yeah. It's that sort of like, obviously when you go for that boring time, you think like I need something like a bit of spark. And then when I was watching you guys, like this is incredible. And then when you came on when I came on the show, I was like, I'm getting that spark to do things and like.
And you've got your name.
My name TikTok.
My little nameplate.
My little nameplate, yeah. But no, it's just a nice thing to get that spark back. And obviously, I feel it myself that I'm getting that drive to do things, and it's really going. So honestly, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to get involved and stuff.
Not at all, mate. It's brilliant to have you. Like we said, me and Paddy have a blast, but to just have your energy and you make us crazy. Definitely be making us laugh.
I broke my bed during that video. I broke in my bed. Honestly, I was like, I was bouncing on it. I'm like, this ain't comfy now.
Ian Chase says, quite an entrance. Ian, you wait until he does his first hosting one. Oh my days, it's going to be.
We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a few Snapchat things that I do, like toast making. The perfect cup of tea. It's going to be interesting.
Don't do that because you'll have competition there.
We can.
I'm not competing. But
we'll put it all on the podcast page. But just to let everybody know what we've got coming up very shortly. We've got authors, we've got comedians, we've got very soon Lee Evans tribute coming on. We've got so many guests that are coming on to Podcast 96. And like we said,
I was going to say Tuesday's one is going to be at the later time of 9:00 p.m.
Wow.
That's going to be the first time all 3 of us are together hosting. And if you want to get involved, very, very simple. All you have to do is watch us over Facebook or YouTube. In fact, while you're on the Facebook page, give us a like, give us a share, and also subscribe to us on YouTube. But while we're on, you can message us live if you want to come on. And if you do want to come on, Jordan will send you the link, and then just follow the instructions on how to get on, and you can join us, have a chat, 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll just see where it goes.
Yeah,
definitely. But we are going to keep these podcasts up as well. But we've just got so many people that want to come on. We want to keep this podcast going, so at least we'll have a guest every single week because there's so many people that want to come on. But Tuesday, it gives everybody the chance if they don't feel like they've got a massive story to tell, because we like to try and aim for an hour and a half at least on a Sunday. If you don't feel like you've got a massive story to tell, all you got to do is Tuesday night, send me a private message, send Paddy or Phil a private message. That will get forwarded to me. I'll send you the link and you can join in our podcast. We could talk about anything on a Tuesday night. It's after the watershed. We're going to have a laugh. One of the
things I did want to bring up on Tuesday, I'll tell you what it is now, but won't go into detail, is the gathering in Hyde Park yesterday in London. I'm not going to give my opinion now, but I will do on Tuesday, where I can actually use the language I want to use and call those people what I want to call them. But anyway.
Yeah.
Do it on Tuesday. Don't forget that Tuesday night's version is over 18s only, if you do want to watch. Please remember, over 18s only. Phil, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on board.
Thank you both. Honestly, thank you both. Yeah,
96. Thank you to our guest, Tricky Ricky, for coming on today. It's been a pleasure. We'll see everybody Tuesday night. Take care. God bless.
Here's some TikToks.
Sing along with me.
Okay.
You are
tune.
my fire,
the one desire.
Believe when I say
I want it that way.
But we are too good to part.
Can't reach to your heart
when you say
I want it that way. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never wanna hear you say that I want it that way. Nice.
If you smell what the rock is cooking.
Well, folks, we think we're going to hear from Triple H next.
Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, whoa, 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 yeah. Da, da, da. I got a new life. You would hardly recognize me. I'm so glad. How could a person